As I said, I'm Vishal Singhal. I'm co-founder and AI evangelist with Cellstat. Uh, we are a small and aggressive AI learning and development company. We develop a lot of machine learning innovations in various industry verticals. We have a lot of community research going on. We are producing a lot of content in AI and ML in Indian context. So these are some of the focus areas. We have AI applications in areas like e-publishing, marketing automation, text recognition, computer vision, etc. Deep learning algorithmic design we do for companies, as well as solution development in Python or Google TensorFlow using Amazon AI or Alexa skill sets. AI content, if you go through our research blog, you'll find most content published by any company in India. That would be us. And we do a lot of community events like Disrupt 4.0 Talk series, as we are currently going through like this webinar. Then we have certification programs going on and machine learning programs for both beginners and advanced levels. You can find it on this link. So before I go to the topic here, I would like to get your inputs on one of the polls here, so that I'll know what kind of audience I'm talking to. Please respond on this poll so that I'll be able to give relevant uh, examples while in the webinar. Some more are left. Please respond. Still some more are left. 2-3 people are yet to respond. Please respond. This way I'll be able to give you relevant examples while going through various types of AI. One more person is left, I believe. Okay, we'll go ahead with this. So we have 2-3 people who are software developers, about 3 people who are non-developers. Then about 50% of the people are saying they are new to AI but would like to work in AI or ML domain. Okay, so 50% of the audience have said they are new to AI. Rest 50 of them are mix of developers, non-developers, but about 30% of them say of the developer community also say that they would like to know more about AI. Thank you. Thanks for this. So let's get going with this. Somebody's raising his hand. Any questions you can keep putting in the question pane. I'll be responding to those at the end of the webinar. Okay. Okay. So AI is said to be achieved when machines start exhibiting intelligence. So true AI is yet to be achieved. We'll be going through what it is, and what all kinds of AI are there. So some examples we have been hearing are self-driving cars, auto tagging of images on Facebook, understanding human speech, etc. So out of these, self-driving cars are still far. Uh, Accidents are happening, experiments are happening, and there is no foolproof uh, test like autonomous car on the road right now, because there's a lot of learning is yet to be achieved. Auto tagging of images on Facebook is a real life example. If you put any image on Facebook, it automatically gives you immediately the probable name of the person. So that is auto tagging of images on Facebook. Understanding of human speech is happening through uh, Alexa or Amazon Echo. You must have heard of. Next is, so machine learning works on human neuron concept, which is, so there are trillions of neurons inside human brain, and which are connected with synapses, and signals pass through them, and that's how we are able to reach a decision. So in machine learning also, neurons are called nodes, and they are represented in various layers. So if you see the first layer, for example, in recommendation engine and e-commerce, when you see somebody who bought this also bought this, it's happening because I'll give you an example. So this first layer could be uh, product layer. This first layer could be product layer, second layer could be customer interaction layer, and third layer could be the customer layer. So customer interaction on site and product layer. So each node is interacting with each of the product and vice versa. So when all these keep on happening, so whatever output comes out here, it goes as an input for further layers, right? So so result keeps on improving and it goes to further layers, and finally we get the output here, which is the decision that a person who like this also may like this. Okay, somebody has raised a question. As I said, I'll be answering all the answers at the end of the webinar, so you can keep on putting the questions. Okay, now I just cleared this. Okay. Next is, so what are types of AI? So when we talk to general layman person, like I talk to general layman person, yeah, they say, "What do you do?" So I say I deal in AI or artificial intelligence. So they are not able to understand it immediately. But as soon as I say I do something related to robotics, so they immediately say, "Oh, robotics, so it must be something to do with computer learning or things like that." So generally, people take AI as a simile to robotics, whereas robotics used to be electrical or mechanical branch, which has come into artificial intelligence because now more autonomous or more intelligent machines are being and are demanded by the companies. So there are various flavors of AI. I'll be taking each one of them one by one and giving you examples and what it is and what they are used in. So let's go ahead. So NLP or natural language processing, as it is called, it is not just NLP. There are three flavors to it. So there are especially in South India, cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, uh, or other tech cities of India, you will hear terms like NLU and NLG. They will say that we are a NLG company, or they will say NLU company. What are they? What do they mean? So NLP is natural language processing, where computer turns your English language into computer readable format or structured data. Then NLU comes in, where computer does specific functions, and some of these are it may have profanity filters. It checks if there's any abusive language or things like that. If it does sentiment detection, whether it is positive or negative point, topic classification, whether it's a tweet or an email or SMS or anything like that, and entity detection. So what location is being referenced in the message. So NLU examples are Alexa, Siri, or Google Assistant. So these are popular NLU examples. Third is NLG, where natural language, the result of NLU is converted back into the English language, which is understood by the human being. So that is NLG. So example of NLP is very simple one, which is bots, which are highly uh, heard of these days. So some popular example of Indian companies are Nikki and Yellow Messenger. So Nikki was the first most funded bot company in India, even funded by likes of Ratan Tata and others. Yellow Messenger is a SAP and Microsoft accelerator as well as incubated company, and now it has been taken as a partner for by Accenture and being taken to their customers worldwide. ManyChats is a foreign company. It is a they create you can create bots on ManyChats by going on to Facebook Messenger. So, how are bots being used? So, speech understanding. So, I was pitching into a large online travel agency. So, there are Yatra or Make My Trip or Expedia and things like that. So, I was pitching our AI solutioning to one of these large OTAs, and they said we want to have speech understanding going there. So we have people calling us from across the world, and we should be able to understand their speech as well as retrieve information from the systems with the bots, and they should be able to answer all questions being asked by the caller. And if language translation is required, so they were asking us 3 or 4 different languages, which were Spanish, French, Hindi, and English. So a bot should be able to understand all of these languages, and we should be able to respond to all of them. So how does bot help in uh, so chatbots? How do chatbots help in branding? So four major ways brands are using chatbots is brand awareness. So for example, uh, in the Western world, people must have seen Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and in India, even today, I think these days it's running Kaun Banega Crorepati. So for example, if you want to create a brand awareness, so you can ask Mr. Amitabh Bachchan to say that you message us right now, any time of day, and we will be responding. You actually, you will think that Amitabh is responding, but actually Amitabh Bachchan's bot will be there. So the bot will be responding to questions, and you can then provide all kinds of rich content and comprehensive information about the uh, contestants that have come there, all kinds of pictures and videos that have been shown on the program in earlier episodes or earlier series, and who was the winner, what were they asked, and all those kind of questions you can get answered from bots. Then brand equity goes up, thinking that customer is seeing that Amitabh Bachchan is responding, but actually it's a bot that is responding and 24 by 7. So customer is thinking that Amitabh Bachchan must be getting huge sums of money by being there 24/7 answering customers' queries, but actually it is a bot. So brand equity goes up in customers' mind. And though bots don't sell direct products directly, but when brand equity has gone up, customer education has taken place, brand awareness has gone up. There are high chances when Amitabh Bachchan is saying online or on TV that you call us now or message us now, that you will respond through SMS or call. So that's when that brand is earning. So with every call on premium number or what, and any SMS on the premium number, the brand is earning from your call or SMSs. So these are some of the ways where how chatbots are being used in branding. So what are the other use cases? So this is a 2016 survey. It is slightly old, but I'll give you a latest example. In this example, so McKinsey had done a intelligence survey inside a company and estimated that if bots are applied, uh, so blue ones would be the annual savings on the salaries, whereas orange is the total salaries paid out to the employees there. So this 12%, 15%, or 23% is a large saving on potential saving on the salaries in such areas. Whereas I'll give you a real life example. I was attending a conference recently, and Mr. Deep Kalra of Make My Trip a large Nasdaq listed company in India, was keynoting the conference, and he was saying that they recently deployed Myra, a chatbot named Myra, for Make My Trip, and uh, one more was there. So Myra for Make My Trip was deployed, and they are already in 6 months' time. They have already achieved 10% efficiency and cost savings on the employees of salaries of employees, as well as they are serving about 50,000 queries a day. Myra is serving about 50,000 customer queries a day. So that's humongous saving. That's I feel uh, going with my calculations, I feel that is easily about maybe million $2 million of per month of salary savings already happening for Make My Trip. So that's a huge saving there. Next is learning and adaptive systems. So the first picture that you see here, you must have seen this kind of things in the earlier series called Star Trek. It is called cybernetics. It is also now already applicable, not in this format, but researchers are playing with the human body and trying to put in AI in eyes. So a partially blind person would be able to see better with some lenses fitted with AI chips inside those lenses. So that will be coming under cybernetics. Concept formation, as I told you, example of recommendation engine. So e-commerce, ad serving, content recommendation, all works on concept formation uh, type of AI. Next is problem solving model, inferencing, interactive problem solving, automatic programming, and heuristic search. So production planning and forecasting, interaction between robots. These are the examples of this kind of problem solving model. So we have a company, we have a friend in Bangalore, India, where he has created. He did not intentionally do it, but he used some machine learning libraries from Python, and they created a forecasting, planning and forecasting software for manufacturing companies. And he was trying to sell that as a POC, as a proof of concept, or as a minimal viable product. He was trying to pitch into pharma companies in India, but he was not getting any success. But somehow one company said, "Okay, we'll give it a try," and because their uh, planning and forecaster, production planning and forecaster was going for leave for about a month or two. So they tried that software, and fortunately or unfortunately, when that planner actually came back, he was put onto some other tasks. So they repurposed his job and put him on some other task, saying that now they don't want any manpower on the production planning or forecasting side because that software is beautifully serving the requirements of that company. Interaction between robots. So there was a recent example where Facebook tried to do some experiment where they trained some robots and they tried to make them interact, but something went wrong and they had to call off the experiment. So it was they were trying to see if robots can interact with if bots can interact with each other. Actually, news highlights said something like something absurd, whereas real reason was they so machine learning happens on training. So more you train, more it becomes intelligent. But those bots were trained on human resource. I am giving an example. So one bot was trained on human resource, another bot was trained on uh, marketing, and they were trying to be chatting with each other. But since they were from different domains, so they could not. They started producing gibberish. So that's how it was going out of control with it. That's when Facebook had to intervene and stop the experiment. Another is visual computing. This is by far the best and I would say most favorite of mine. It's being used in e-commerce, image improvements, healthcare, security, defense, versus education, factory automation, etc. We are also working on, and so it's also called vision computing, pattern recognition, scene analysis. or machine computing, machine vision, or visual computing, or computer vision. These are the three names, and it helps in pattern recognition and scene analysis. So we were being asked by a certain government body recently, wherein they were saying that they have to create a system which should be able to detect fast moving cars, number plates, as well as drivers' face in real time, and match it with the backend database so that they can have an alert if it's a criminal or if it's a normal resident of that city or of that area, or it's an outsider. So they will be able to create panic alerts, they will be able to create traffic alerts, they will be able to create security alerts if it's an infiltration is happening there. So those kind of scenarios are already arising, and this is what is being used in e-commerce in companies heavily, and trying for minimizing of image sizes, bandwidth reduction, as well as speed improvements and all those kind of things. So this is by far the most used, I believe, sort of AI. So I'm not able to show this video. It is of an uh, autonomous bus tried by SoftBank in Japan. If I show this, we'll not be able to upload this video on the YouTube. It doesn't accept video in video somehow. Okay, so try, if you want to see, try SoftBank bus experiment in Japan on YouTube. You'll be able to find that video. I'll give you an example here. So as I said, it's my favorite one. So how it is being used, all being tried by companies across the world. So this is the latest example. This I hope everybody has seen this kind of vending machine somewhere in the world. So here, a lot of inventory growth, not only drinks, not only snacks, not only magazines, all kinds of inventories can go in such a vending machine. But issue is that for every vending machine, there are thousands of hundreds and thousands, 10,000 of hundreds of thousands of manpower involved for inventory as well as stock keeping. So, and when a person is rushed on the duty, so either he will place the stock so far that it will get that rack. Say for example, this rack will get overstocked. So when a person puts in the coin, either two bottles can come out, or nothing comes out because of malfunctioning. So it is both, in both the scenarios, companies facing a loss of revenue. Other could be when a person is going and coming back again and again, he has to load, he has to be carrying lot of load of inventory with him. So it's a wear and tear on his body, as well as stress level goes up. So he will fall ill faster. Third is when he's going and coming back again and again. So petrol is being consumed, time is being consumed, consumer company resources and vehicles are being consumed. So there's everything is a cost to the company. So Coke is doing an experiment where they are trying to achieve higher level of efficiency with same manpower, uh, and trying to optimize their efficiency there. So there are about 16 million Coke machines globally, which are you can find across the world. And so they are doing an experiment. They have uh, they have people working globally in 2 to 3 shifts. So they were contacted by a startup in Boston, uh, and they were pitched a solution which Coke liked, and they are now doing a POC level experiment there. So it's a 4 month experiment, and they have pegged a number that if they are able to achieve a efficiency of say 90 to 95%, uh, they will be deploying this uh, solution across the globe to achieve efficiencies on their supply chain. So they have used AI in their backend server application and created a mobile app which is being called Einstein. So this whole project is called Einstein, which has AI enabled mobile app. It's a camera app by which whenever a person goes onto the vending machine. He clicks the photograph from various angles, trying to find out uh, uh, the stock levels from various angles, and also takes a picture of how much inventory he's carrying or he's putting or was last in the machine when he reached there. So what kind of efficiency they are achieving already? So better visibility and insights, reduction in manpower costs and time, optimized operations and inventory costs and management. So they have, on the last count that I read it somewhere, it was they had already achieved, I think, 60-65% of efficiency. They were saying that they were able to, if they are able to achieve 90-95% plus on their bottom line impact, so they will be deploying it across the world. Next is robotics. So this is Connie Hilton's concierge robot from IBM Watson. So this is IBM Watson robot now being used by Hilton worldwide in their largest and most trafficked hotels, and uh, they are using it as a. If you look for Hilton concierge robot Connie on YouTube, you will be able to see the YouTube video there, and it basically stands on the reception and acts like a concierge. So if you go and ask him what is the dish of the day, where are the restrooms, where is the what kind of shops are there in the hotel, or what is the special in the hotel that day, it will be able to answer all your queries. So this is a concierge experiment that Hilton is trying with IBM, and if they are able to succeed, again they will be deploying these across the world. So robots are already being deployed in hospitality, transport, security, military, banking, household, etc. So I believe most of you will know HDFC Bank uh, in India. So HDFC Bank uh, has deployed uh, what is it called? A robot, three robots they have deployed in Iraq. So intelligent robot assistant they have deployed in across three large branches across Mumbai in India, and so they are saying they're getting very good response on it, and this robot, when a person enters the branch, it uh, it asks the name of the person, and for the experiment will be it has a camera on its forehead uh, dot on its forehead, which because this bot is named as Ira, people are saying it is a Indian bindi, whereas which ladies put on their forehead, but actually it is a camera, and they will be test trying as to if a person can be matched by his real image with the virtual image available on their account, and so authentication will happen then and there, and you will be able to ask any and every question related to your account. Okay. I think by mistake I pressed the. Okay, so I think I pressed the video button there. So next is AI in gaming like chess, Go, and bridge. So in 1997 is when I heard for the first time that IBM supercomputer Deep Blue has beaten Grandmaster of chess. Then again, Google DeepMind AlphaGo beat global Go champion Keiichi of China. So this is one game which cannot be mastered by anybody easily. It has nearly infinite moves, and but AlphaGo was able to get trained on the game and was able to beat the Go champion. So when Go champion was asked to play in the game, he was just told that it's an anonymous player. He didn't know he's competing against the computer, and he was beaten in no time at all. AI in modeling, behavior and relation prediction. So healthcare 3D modeling of making body parts, financial analysis, etc. are all using AI in modeling. A lot of financial companies, Citibank, Standard Chartered Bank, all are playing with modeling AI models and doing all sorts of financial analysis there. Next is how to use AI. These are some of the use cases I have given. How to use AI analytics in manufacturing and supply chain. So first is robotic process automation, although not very hardcore AI, but it is called robotic process automation. It is already automating up to 45% of currently repetitive tasks. So a lot of companies, big and small, they are first deploying RPA and then bots and then going forward from there. Smart machines with self-diagnostics, analytics with machine learning for demand planning, forecasting. I gave you example of digital twins was a concept launched by GE, and that is General Electric. They said that if you they said that they have created a system wherein they can create a digital uh, twin of actual turbine running in their client sites, and they can exactly tell when any turbine will go down, so that they can so that the client can keep another turbine ready as at the forecasted time. Okay. Now, next is software bots compare multiple scenarios side by side to recommend best course of action. So the planning and forecasting example I gave you, so it tells you, it compares multiple scenarios as well as recommend the best course of action for the manufacturing plant to take. Machine vision for quality check of products. Computer vision is used for face recognition on factory floors to detect static manpower or check non-thefts and direct reporting to force managers or security. So example here is we were pitching into a large OEM of two-wheeler company in India, and they said that they have out of 4,000, they have about 2,500 contract manpower. So when problem with contract manpower is they cannot run the conveyor belt with production happening and machines coming out of it or the vehicles coming out of it 24 by 7. So they have to stop the machine just after 12 hours of day shift. So machine vision tool would help them in uh, being not dependent on that human manpower, and it can run 24/7. Computer vision, we also present that they said that a lot of reverse logistics cost is coming to the company because it is seen that in warehouse, wherever vehicle is parked, all employees know about it and they have access to those areas. So if they sneak into those areas and take out tools which they throw out of the boundary while on duty, but while going home, they have to pick it up and sell in the market. But when a vehicle reaches a customer, he complains and there is a reverse logistics cost. Either the vehicle goes back to the factory because there is some part missing, or there is an additional cost of the machine tool that needs to be supplied uh, to the customer by the dealer. Then drones for deliveries, direct to consumer with facial recognition playing a major role in customer identification. Uh, so, and then autonomous fleets being used for removing dependency on drivers. So it is slightly still far to come, but Tesla and other people of the world are making trying to make autonomous fleets on both trucks and cars so that people and goods can be ferried without any human dependency. So example of a good drone is today only there was a news in a local newspaper here that one of my uh, close relatives son has created. He's a ninth grader and he has created a drone. He has made a drone with the camera capability. It can reach up to heights of 250 meters and it can go at a speed of 80 to 100 kilometers per hour, and it can be used for checking the breaking of pipes or damage in buildings, in large buildings, or any such uh, security checks, if required, can be done with those kind of drones. So this is it. So this was these were the types of AI. Now we can take up some questions here. Okay, I'll go to the question panel. Let's take one by one. What is the difference between ML and deep learning? That's a good question. Uh, so AI, ML, and deep learning, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, they are interchangeably used, but these are three different concepts. So AI is a broad term. You can use it for ML or you can use it for DL, but AI is a broad concept which says that which you can say that AI algorithm is being used, or AI solution is there. For example, drone can have a AI system, or a machine learning algorithm, or deep learning algorithm uh, to recognize faces of people to deliver goods to the right person. So, for example, yeah, AI is a broad concept. Machine learning is part of AI. It learns through data. So, previously available data trains the machine. Uh, it can be both supervised and unsupervised. So, supervised data is supervised learning is when you know the input and output both of the data. Suppose uh, so you know that this is a product and this a person will buy. So you know that this customer will buy this product. So you know X input and Y output. You also know this kind of material will produce this kind of product. So you know X and Y of both. So this would be supervised learning. Whereas unsupervised would be when you know this is the input, but you don't know what kind of product will be coming out. So that would be a unknown output. So that would be unsupervised learning. So machine learning learns through data, and deep learning is when more intricacy is required. For example, you can take you can digest an error on machine level when it is recommending you a different kind of t-shirt, but you cannot digest an error on your healthcare. So if a machine says that you have cancer, you will be taken aback. You cannot digest it. It's very light. Whereas if it says that you have bought this kind of t-shirt, you can also buy this. So that's fine. So chances of error in machine learning or in a recommendation engine can be taken in case of machine learning, but deep learning deals with various uh, intricate level of problems. So this is a basic difference. When you go intricate, it is deep learning. When you talk about superficial stuff, it is machine learning. Uh, Next question is, what exactly is a bot? Bot are software programs. So bot are software program. For example, if you go to any site and there's a pop-up at middle of the night saying that, hi, how can I help you? So that may be a bot most likely. A person will not be available at that moment of time. So these are software programs that help you get the answer to a query in V hours of time, or even in daytime when they respond, they may be bot, not the human beings. These are software programs only. What sort of computing source resources are required for type of visual computing you were referring to? Seeing car driver's face may need 100 megapixel camera and checking it against database of million faces. Yes, you are right. So uh, computing resources in AI specifically, when you talk about Amazon or Google talking about uh, using their resources, using their servers, so they earn by number of computation cycles. And in AI, when some computation is happening, it goes through millions of computation cycles per second, and they are earning by per second rate instead of per computation. It is per computations per second. So lot of computing resources are required. That's why GPUs are required. Normal CPU of a computer will not work. So yes, you are right. When seeing car drivers face, it will need very high definition cameras, and at the back end there will be high level of machine learning computations will be happening. So yes, very high level of computing resources will be required. Right part to learn and practice AI and ML algorithms. See, thanks for this question. So, as I said, we have our own machine learning programs going on where we have global audience. We have people from right from 3 years of experience working in a large IT company in Bangalore to 38 years plus experience of probably about 58 or 60 years of age person working out of Italy who's attending our program. So, uh, it is very difficult area. You should be having very good understanding of maths concepts from your high school, be it matrices, differential calculus, probability, and things like that. So I can take you to the path to machine learning algorithms, and a lot of practice is required. Most of the people who attend our programs, we try to give them a lot of practice on tutorials and projects, but since it is very hard, it is difficult to understand, and you have to put in lots and lot of time and labor into it. But with a decent 6 months of course, right from beginners to advanced level of machine learning program, as well as another 6 months and parallel practice on coding, you can be a decent level uh, data scientist. So if you're interested in seeing those slides, I can take you through them, what we teach and what kind of things we cover in that. TensorFlow, Keras, or PyTorch, which one is best? Well, see, TensorFlow is a framework from Google. PyTorch is coming from a different resource. So each of them is good in their own levels. You have to be, I would say, you start with PyTorch or Keras and TensorFlow at the last, because that would be the hardest to go with. So hardcore ML is called DL. You may say so. So hardcore ML, not necessarily, but hardcore ML with deeper neural networks like RNN or recurrent neural networks or deep neural networks would be called deep learning. What do you think is the next trend in AI and how? I would say difficult question to say, but quantum computing is coming next. But I'm told by a lot of large company MDs that, and so is the trend is saying probably AI will be there for next 5 decades. So it's not coming. Computing may start, but it is not coming fast enough because it will be more difficult to learn as well as deploy. AI itself is very difficult to learn and deploy. Go ahead. Any number of questions I'm willing to take here. I want to start working in the IoT sector combined with AI. Can you recommend good internet sources for getting into the topic? Well, I'm not sure on those, but AI for AI definitely you can try Ian Goodfellow's Deep Learning. It's a very, very hard book again. You have to have very good knowledge of IoT if you want to go into that sector, and then AI will be used for interpretation of large volumes of data that will be coming in. So you just need to know the format of the data that is coming out, and create the tables and charts, and process the data in such a way that you can use them in AI modules and be able to interpret that data. I'm not I used to be part of AI, sorry, IoT on a very, very basic level. But I won't know uh, good resources on IoT and AI put together. Okay, good question. So I like reading stuff about AI, but I don't like coding in this situation. How can I make career in this field? So, uh, okay, uh, okay. So yes, if you can code, definitely you can earn lot of very high good salaries in AI domain. But if you cannot code, or if you don't want to code, you can learn the data science part of it, or you can learn the various use cases and still become project manager, oblique, not project manager, still become AI consultant, business analyst in that in AI domain. We have a program called AI for managers, but it is for specifically for from different domains. So if you're from telecom domain, we got a query from telecom domain, but we need to have some limited number of people to be able to run that program. It's about 25 hours course, but it will give you a decent level of grounding on the do's and don'ts of AI, and the best practices of AI, the team formation requirements, as well as uh, what are the paths to data monetization and all those kind of things. So you can still become an AI person, but not from technical side of things. Any learning resources for someone who is just getting started? Any advice which will help him along the way of his learning period? Well, I suggest you go through salestrat.com. You'll find lots and lots of content there. We have tried to create a PPT slide sized bites, and a person will be able to learn them or read through them easily, and then grasp it and learn it over next 2 3 days, and then come back and learn more. And then we have all these webinars that like we are doing today are all recorded, and they are available on our YouTube channel. So if you look for Cellstrat YouTube channel on YouTube, you will be able to find all the previous webinars, as well as if you go to cellstrat.com, you will be able to find all the webinars there. So it has both highly technical as well as business, as well as intro sessions like these mentioned there. What should be the best approach to keep oneself updated on all changes or disruptions like AI? Well, you have to be subscribing to all the big and good newsletters from across the world, right from MIT to Harvard to uh, TechCrunch and things like that. So if you are uh, more uh, more you are subscribed to, more you get information on daily basis. But I'm sure you will not be able to read as much. So it's only the ones that you are interested in. You'll have to sift through them and get your insights on your interested like topic. Okay. Could you suggest some good MOOC courses for practical application of machine learning? The sheer number of courses on AI ML take up time in deciding where to start from. So there's a good rule of thumb, if I should say there. If you want to, I don't know many MOOCs there. You can go to various resources. If you look for MOOC on Google, you'll be able to find many. But a good rule of thumb that I follow is uh, any course that you take up online or offline definitely you will get, but online, if you take any course on AI or ML, it should be instructor led. Either it should be instructor led or instructor supported. So if it may be a self-paced program, but instructor supported, so that you can ask question anytime from the instructor, and he or she will respond. If you don't have an instructor at the other side of the program, other side of the computer, then you will not get answers in real time, and you will get discouraged and frustrated and will not come back to the subject, thus losing interest in that. So that is what I follow. I cannot understand algorithm or maths out of videos. I have to be taught to. So I feel are most human beings like. So if you see largest of online course companies, they have 90-95% dropout rate. Why? Because people are not able to understand maths or algorithmic teaching on purely online based courses. There has to be an instructor on the other end. If you take up this rule of thumb, you will be able to zero in on some good courses available online. We have instructor-led programs. Uh, okay, let me show you first, before I go ahead on the answers, let me show you first one or two slide more. So this is the PG certificate program, or 3 or 4 different programs that we provide through CellStrat. So month one is machine learning. It's an instructor-led course. My colleague Vivek takes all of these courses, and so it's about 5 weeks program, about 60 hours of teaching, learning, as well as tutorials and projects and exercises. So after 5 weeks, there is a 2 to 3 weeks of gap. Then comes deep learning instructor-led course, again taken by Vivek, and also advanced neural network taken by Vivek. So he is a chief data scientist on our team, also works on a lot of solutioning. We all talk to clients regularly, so we know what's in demand in the market. We are both a learning company as well as a development company. So in about 6 months' time, you will be able to cover all of these topics and very much in depth. If you are good in maths and have done any kind of programming whatsoever ever in your life, you will be able to take up Python to start with in machine learning. That would be good enough. And when you're thorough with Python, you can take TensorFlow, which is higher and harder level of frameworks from Google, but again very strong. So we also have a self-paced program. This is basically we did a batch about a month or two ago, and a lot of questions were asked by people from across the world. As I was mentioning, 3 to 38 years of experience. So we recorded those videos, and now we are providing that as a self-paced program, but instructor supported. So if you can take up that program and complete that program before November. So today is 1st of October. You can take that program and complete that before 13th of November. And so Vivek will be giving you tutorials. He will be checking your tutorials as well as talking to you over webinar once or twice, and then you will be able to complete this and take up the next deep learning course that is due from 13th of November. So that is so deep learning is probably double the difficulty of machine learning. So you have to be really good with your maths concepts, and as well as know some kind of language to be able to understand the algos as well as programming there. And then after 5 weeks, again there will be a 2 to 3 weeks of self practice. We will be giving you a lot of tutorials and exercises, and then you go through advanced neural networks, which will again be about 3 times as difficult as deep learning. And if you are able to complete all of these, then uh, you will have a decent knowledge to be able to become a junior data scientist, and then another 6 months of rigorous hands-on practice and programs and tutorials, you will be able to become an intermediate level data scientist and be able to grab a good job in the market. What we cover in machine learning is this. So this is intro to AI and ML, maths basic. We do a refresher on maths basic. Then Python, basics of Python and Python libraries, types of learning, supervised or unsupervised. A lot of algos there: classification, regression, dimensional detection, and data preparation. Decision trees, support vector, unsupervised learning, and intro to deep learning. So Some of the resources that are covered are programming demos, hands-on exercises and tutorials, quiz and assessments. The capstone project is required to be given at the end of the program, and instruction by Vivek as well as some other guest faculties often on as required, and live chat with industry. So this is what is covered in the machine learning course. Now going back, let's take up further questions. Okay. I believe I've already answered how can I make a career in this field without knowing coding there. Can you do a recap of the session? I'm sorry, that won't be possible. Walk through us on the programs in CellStrat. Okay. Thank you. Please answer one more question: how to choose neuron size? Uh, Not to be covered in this webinar. I'm sorry. Are there quantum computing libraries yet? I'm not sure. Any course on data science or AI which gives hands-on along with theory and is free? See, although there are a lot of AI and data science courses available for free of cost, but it will have mostly theory, not hands-on exercises. Nothing comes for free. Nothing good comes for free. So you will have a lot of theory. You may have some hands-on, but there will not be any checking from anybody there because there won't be any instructor there to check to check your algos as well as coding. So it's your call. Do you offer classroom training for corporates? Yes, we do. We have a large. We have been doing workshops across India. We have done quite a few for large Big Four consulting as well as a large, very large FMCG company in India, as well as currently we are dealing with a large MNC bank. We are training their managers as well as developers on various programs that we have. How much is the deep learning course? So it varies from 8,000 to 12,000 depending upon when you sign up. So we have early bird to normal prices. So if you go to, I'll, I'll take you to that. If you go to this link, shall we? Okay, let's go to this link. I'm just opening the machine learning programs page on our site. So here we are. So this is deep learning certification program here. It is currently at 8,000 for some time, and then price will be going up to 10K and then 12K. So it will be starting from 13th of November. Every Tuesday and Thursday, there will be 3-hour class from 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. India time. So it will be 5 weeks, 60-hour program. It will have 30 hours of instructor-led sessions, 20 hours of self-practice, and 10 hours of project time there. So prerequisite is candidate must have programming knowledge, maths and statistics background, and machine learning course, whether with us or from anywhere else. But you should be having good hands-on practice from there so that you'll be able to understand. So live online repos will be there. Topics covered: introduction to deep learning, introduction to TensorFlow, perceptrons, how to train artificial neural networks, multi-level level layer ANNs, and all of these. So this is an overview on the program. Right now it is at 8,000. It will go up to 12,000 as you near the date. As you near the date, it will reach. So any more questions here? Okay. Difference between AI, big data, and analytics. From your presentation and what companies claim the terms are interchangeably used. AI, big data, and analytics are not used interchangeably. AI, ML, and DL are used interchangeably. Uh, so first analytics came when people started using Excel files, and then analytics softwares came in, and then big data came in where data became huge, and MongoDB, Hadoop, and other kind of technologies came in. AI is coming in because now real-time analysis and predictions are required. So I'll be taking another webinar day after tomorrow. That's Wednesday on adapt or perish, adopt AI or perish in the emerging technologies of the world. So there I'll be talking about 7 or 8 different kinds of technologies, how they are different, what are their use cases, what are they, and what how can one get into it on, and how AI is impacting any or all of them. So there you will get some of these answers that you are asking for. Do you know any Bangalore-based drone startups working across applications of such drones? Um, Bangalore-based drone company. Well, I'm not sure. Seriously, I'm not sure if there's any drone company in Bangalore. There may be some, but I'm not sure of them. How can someone with finance background take advantage of AI? Take advantage of AI. Any application that has combination of both AI and core finance, algorithmic trading, etc. Okay, so I suggest there was a webinar last Monday on impact of AI on financial application. It's available on our Salesforce site as well as in our webinar section. So uh, in our webinar section, if you go and look for impact of AI, you search for it, you will be able to find it. It may be in some internal pages as well. So you will be able to say webinar there, or check out Salesforce YouTube channel on YouTube. You will be able to find it there. It should be first or second of them. I think second webinar would be second video. There would be impact of AI on financial applications. And yes, with finance background, you can take advantage of AI. There is a whole program that we do, as I just mentioned, with large MNC bank. Their most managers we have got are financial background, but they're trying to learn the data science, and technical people are trying to learn the coding part of it as well, and trying to benefit from that. We have already taken 2 sessions for them in various places, and now we'll be going with the third one very soon. Okay, now difference between AI, big data analytics. I think I've already told about this. So basically, term AI is being abused by all companies these days. Yes. So many companies uh, are any company that has anything to do with analytics has started using AI in their pitch to be able to benefit from it, to be able to get the conversation going. We are a hardcore AI focused company. We don't deal in IoT or big data or any other technologies, and so Sometimes people ask, do you do big data or do you do IoT? But we decline. We are a hardcore focused AI focused company only, and we have these POCs or solution development happening in AI space, and mostly computer vision, as well as slightly on the NLP side with e-publishing companies, etc. Any other questions there? I'm not seeing any others. If you have any other question, you can put it here. Else, I would like to tell you we have our Disrupt 4.0 community on WhatsApp. You can message me with your from your number on the number given here, and just let me know your name, designation, company you are currently in, and the location, and that you attended this or any other webinar of ours and would like to be part of the Disrupt 4.0 community on WhatsApp. We have a lot of students to corporates to large company MDs on that group. So we highly curated. So once you ping me, I will have to talk to you to understand what's your motive of coming there, and we will be able to get you there if your profile suits. So only and only knowledge is shared. No greetings and no other forwards are allowed. Any forwards or any other kind of material is a person is uh, uh, made to leave immediately without any questions asked. So I hope you like the webinar. If you have any questions, you can send it to me at vishal@cellstrat.com or this number, or I'm very active on Quora as well. You can, if you ask any question there, probably I'll be replying on that ASAP. And we tweet from Cellstrat ID as well as Vishal Singhal is my personal ID. And we keep doing these webinars. Hope to see you in future webinars as well. Another question I see. There is one. What is the WhatsApp number? This is the WhatsApp number 9999658436 that is available on the screen right now. You can message on that. Okay. I don't see any other questions now. Oh, I'm already beyond the time. It's after a long time I'm shooting over the time. Uh, so I hope I've been able to answer all your queries, and look forward to see you in future webinars. Since I don't have any questions, any more questions here, so we'll close the webinar now. Thank you and have a good night in India as well as good day in other parts of the world. Thanks.